Yeah, hi there, and these comments are for, I'm going to just say S, and let's take a look at your email. So you're one of my online students, right? So you say, I have a problem with timing of independent tasks in the speaking questions. I always find that 15 seconds of preparation is so limited and not enough time to practice to come up with reasons and examples. Today, after I listened to your feedback on my response, I tried some questions by myself, and the preparation time was not enough for me to come up with 2 reasons. Sometimes I had just one in my mind and the time ended on me before I finished my speech, which I did not record. You say, I know that practice is a key, but the way we practice is more important, so I need some guidance from you which could put my practice in the right direction. Moreover, I have to admit that I didn't have enough time to work on all speaking, pronunciation, intonation lessons you referred me to. You got to make time, because there's no way you're going to solve those problems unless you work in those lessons. You must make time. This is important. You said, my biggest hurdle in speaking is in its timing, since it always shocks me and makes me stutter. If I master timing, I will get higher scores in speaking, but I don't know how to do it even after 6 tries. You might not want to hear it, but it's practice. What you can do is, if you go to my online TOEFL course, if you go to the speaking section, I want to point you to some lessons here that are going to be helpful for you right now. Now, if you don't go to the lessons, I can't help you, but you can't just say, okay, I want to solve my timing problems, but you have to develop the academic and the speaking and the pronunciation proficiency so that you will have the right timing. So there's a lot of interconnected language skills involved in helping you do better on the speaking, and it's not just timing, it's having great vocabulary, because the better your vocabulary, the easier it will be for you to come up with ideas. Right? So if you practice your listening and your reading on a regular basis, again, it'll be much easier for you to come up with those ideas. Okay, let's go to the speaking section for just a second. Okay, here's what you want to do. Okay, number 1, you have 2 lessons that you can probably focus on, is paired choice, independent speaking, and free choice. Both of those lessons, speaking lesson 1 and speaking lesson 2, are good. Watch those videos in their entirety, and you want to practice all the exercises in those videos. Now, the next thing, I want you to go to, after the independent speaking practice test 30, you'll see a link. It says additional free choice and paired choice speaking topics. You want to click on that link. You will now see 300 different topics that you can begin practicing. Now, let me ask you a question. When you started driving in the beginning, one of the few first times that you started driving, remember, you had to get in the car, you had to turn the car on, you had to put the car in reverse or in drive, you had to check the rear view, the side view mirrors. There are a lot of things you had to do. You had to look over your shoulder to check for cars, things like that. The first few times that you actually did that, it took you a long time to do all those things, right? But now I'm guessing when you drive a car, you probably don't take nearly as much time as you did in the beginning. This is what you will have to do about the independent speaking, free choice, and paired choice responses. As you practice the responses and you go from number 31 through 300, there's about 300 there, you can start by taking maybe 5 minutes preparing your response. 5 minutes means you take some notes, you jot down some ideas, you make an outline. Let's say that you take 10 different speaking topics and you take 5 minutes for all those speaking topics, 5 minutes before you record your voice. Right? Then the next time you'll take the next 10 topics. Instead of 5 minutes preparation time, you'll do it in 4.5 minutes of preparation time. You'll do those 10. Then you go to the next 10. You'll take 4 minutes preparation time. Then you do another 10. You'll do 3.5. Another 10. You'll do 3. Another 10. You'll do 2.5. Another 10. You'll do 2. Then 1.5. Then 1. Then 30 seconds. And then finally 15 seconds. So you'll start by taking more time, carefully organizing your ideas. Now, you know what's going to happen? Here's the goal. When you go from 5 minutes to 15 seconds, the only thing that you can do is to write down maybe 2 or 3 key points in the 15 seconds. You write down 2 or 3 key points that will help you answer the question. Then as you start speaking, you'll refer to those points, point by point by point. But if you do what I said before, if you take longer and then a little bit shorter, eventually you will be able to organize in your head. It's true. If you do this about 150 or 200 or 250 times, you will find that the more you practice, you will be able to brainstorm and think of ideas much faster. It is possible. So those are my comments to you right now. And keep up the good work. If you have more questions, feel free to email me.